Hey loves, this is SR Welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Enjoy. What's up? What's up, guys? I am back with another video. This will be a review for the movie Resort to Love on Netflix. I shot a review for this a few weeks back, but I kept calling Christina Milian Christina Aguilera. I don't know what it is with me and names, but like I just be like this didn't used to be me. I was a better person than this. So I don't know what it is with me and names like, and it just didn't set well with me, just like the Ecelia. I needed to pronounce that right. So I'm reshooting this video, and hopefully I'm consistent with her name throughout the video, because I think I said it right the first time, and then I messed it up. But anyways, this is a review of this romance movie. I would like to say black romance. I think Christina Milian is Cuban. I don't know if she identifies as black. But it's a romance movie. The main characters, of course I have my notes, are Christina Milian, Cinqua Walls, Jay Farrow, and Timberly Hill. Now, I know we all know Jay Farrow and Christina Milian. I don't really know Timberly Hill that much, but Cinqua Walls was Sean in Power. Ghost Driver, the Kanan's son, Sean. That's who Cinqua Walls is. Um, but anyway, so Chris, the character, Christina's character, I think her character's name is Erica. Her character is a singer. She's trying to be a singer, she's a struggling artist or whatever. And I think she was signed to this record label or whatever, and she's excited about this new album that she has been working on, and they're supposed to be releasing. So they have an album release party to celebrate her album. But at the album release party, her album gets hijacked by the producer and the label. He announces that he is retiring, like he's not doing albums anymore. He's not. I think he quit the music business altogether. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened. And like she is shocked by this announcement because they never had a conversation about it. So he pretty much kind of like did it behind her back, which is kind of messed up. And she was looking forward to it or whatever, and it didn't happen for her. And so after that event, after she struggled at that event, she went home and found out that her husband, who is played by Jay Farrow, I can't remember his name in the movie. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to keep up with names because I watch so much TV and stuff like that. So I don't remember like every character's name and stuff. But when she gets there, he's not there. And I don't remember if he left a note or something like that. I think he left a note breaking up with her. He didn't even do it face to face, but he left. I think they were in New York, and he went back to South Carolina, which is where I'm from. But anyways, like he went back to South Carolina. Um, he called off their wedding. So that left her heartbroken as well. Excuse my lone lock that's hanging, but it's not actually long. The one that it's hooked to is really short. But y'all know how it goes. You adjust and do what you can and you move on. But anyways, he calls off the wedding, and so it leaves her broken. Like she's broken, she becomes depressed. She's sad, and then she has this friend who I forgot what her job title is, but she like has connections. I think a little bit of connections like in the music industry and stuff like that. But she's Christina's friend, and so she suggests that Christina goes to this island and becomes a singer. Like she wants to be a singer. So her friend suggests, this is a new place, it's a new move. You won't know anybody there. You won't have to face anybody asking you about your marriage and stuff like that. Like, when you break up with somebody, one of the worst things is having to be asked about them, after the breakup, what happened. People want to know what happened. Y'all still together, like, and it's a lot to deal with, and you don't want to have to answer those questions, especially if you wasn't the one who wanted the breakup. Like, if you didn't want the breakup, it's harder. So she goes to the island. She gets the invitation and she goes to the island. And when she gets there, of course, her feelings doesn't go away just because she's in a new place. So she's still broken up. She's still depressed. So while she's singing, like on her first day, it's horrible because her heart is broken, and now when she got there, she found out that she was going to be a wedding singer, which is kind of hard because she wanted to sing at her own wedding, and then she was a singer, and it's reminding her of the wedding that she's never going to get to have with the man that she thought she was going to marry, but she's not marrying. So and also, yeah, this is a year later. Like, her going to the island is a year later. It didn't happen right away. I forgot to mention that because it's important that I do. Um, this is a year after she doesn't get the album. She doesn't get to release her album, and a year after her fiance leaves her. So this is a year later. She gets invited to this to this island to be a wedding singer, and her first time is horrible because she's singing a love song. So she gets in her feelings. She starts crying and she starts messing up. And the people, the bride and the groom wasn't satisfied with her performance or whatever. She bombs it, and then she has this coworker that she met there that kind of like gave her a pep talk or whatever. He kept telling her to keep trying, that she'll get better with time, and her friend also was telling her the same thing, that this is your first time, you still going through this, you still haven't healed from this breakup or whatever, just keep doing it, don't quit, whatever. So she does, and she starts doing better because she changes up the type of songs that she sings. Instead of singing love songs and sad songs and stuff that's going to remind her of the fiance that left her in a wedding that she doesn't have, she starts singing upbeat songs, like I'm every woman, stuff like that. They're not really wedding songs, but they kind of get the crowd hype a little bit. So she starts singing stuff like that. And she starts to enjoy being on the island. She starts to really get comfortable being there, get comfortable in her job. And, she starts having fun and stuff like that. So, of course, it's an island, so it has beaches. So she goes on the beach one day, just lying there, sunbathing, chilling, relaxing, as a beautiful black queen should. Especially one that has gone through all the things she went through. And this man is drowning in the ocean. So she's like the only one around or whatever, so like she becomes the hero, the heroine, and she runs out there and tries to save him. But in the midst of saving him, he ends up panicking and pulling her under as well, which can happen in real life, which is why they have lifeguards, because these are people that are trained to save people that are drowning. But like a regular person, you might want to not be the hero if you don't know how to swim, or you don't know the proper training or whatever. You need to call the nearest lifeguard or somebody that knows what they're doing to help. But anyway, she goes to save the man. He starts to drown her. Now both of them are struggling in the water. And so the guy, played by Senqua Walls, I don't remember his name either. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names, especially with fictional characters. But yeah, they both get saved by this beautiful dark skinned man. Like he's so beautiful. His skin is beautiful. He has beautiful teeth. Like he has a nice face. He has a nice body. And like just imagine if you're drowning and you get saved by somebody like that. That's gonna make your day. Like I don't think he had to do CPR. He didn't have to do mouth to mouth on neither one of them. Or did he do? Did he have to do it on the man? I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember all of those details, but I think that's what happened. But anyways, he saves them, um, and it's a romance story. But anyways, this is supposed to be a romance movie and he's supposed to be a hero. He just saved her life, whatever. So of course, he's going to use this opportunity to try to hit on her. So he asked her out for drinks. As I just saved your life. You want to go have a drink with me? And she's like, "Thank you, but no." But she declines his offer or whatever, and it kind of bruised his ego a little bit. But she went on about her day or whatever, because I think the reason why she declined is because she wasn't ready to date somebody else. Like she's still not over the breakup, and you know how that is. Like when you just broke up with somebody, you don't really want to deal with somebody else. You just want to chill and find yourself again and enjoy your single life. So I believe that that's why she declined. So they went on about, both of them went on about their day or whatever, and they end up bumping into each other again. um they end up bumping into each other again outside of the hotel. They have a conversation, they flirt a little bit, the cute little stuff that happens in romance movies, because stuff like that don't happen in real life. You are very rarely gonna bump into this guy that you rejected, and he's very rarely gonna pay you attention after you rejected him. But I ain't gonna say rarely, because I feel like guys don't give up a lot of the times. Like they will try again to see, like last time you said no, let me see if you're gonna give me a yeah this time. They're pretty persistent, sometimes to a fault, sometimes it's scary. But anyways, but they bump into each other again. Like I said, they flirt, they have a conversation, she warms up to him a little bit, and then this is where the plot twist comes in. She finds out that the guy that she met or whatever is her ex fiance's brother. He's on the island for his brother's wedding to his new fiance. So her ex that broke up with her a year ago is now engaged to somebody else, and they're on the island to get married. So all of them run into each other, and when they run into each other, he asked her to pretend that they're just friends. Like he just know her from New York or whatever. Like he doesn't want his new fiance to know that he was engaged to her a year ago. So he asked her to lie, and she does. She pretends to be his best friend because he kind of like puts her on the spot and like backs her into a corner. So she lies because like she doesn't really want the drama, and I think also because like she still cares about him or whatever, so she kind of wanted to help him out. I wouldn't, but she did. It happens. Um, and then like because she's the wedding singer or whatever, like she meets his fiance or whatever. They click right. They click immediately. They get along. His fiance is really bubbly. She's really friendly. She seems like the type of woman that would be friends with basically anybody. They're like the opposite of each other. Like his new fiance is like motherly, she's nurturing, she's like cool, free spirited, whatever. And Erica is more career driven, she's ambitious. She's like, I'm not saying that the other woman isn't strong, but Erica is more independent, and she prioritizes her career and stuff, and over marriage and kids. Like she doesn't want that life. She didn't want to be a housewife, which is one of the things that came in between them or whatever. Like she focused on her career. That's why he left her, because he felt like she was choosing her career over him. So that's why he left, and that's why they didn't work out. So then he gets with this other woman who is more what he wants. Like, she's the stay at home mom type. She's a lawyer, but she's willing to be an at home mom. She wants to have kids. She wants the nice house with the backyard and the white picket fence and stuff like that. Erica doesn't want that. She wants New York. She wants a fast paced life. She wants to work, stuff like that. And so, y'all know the deal by now. And so, like, because her and his new fiance get along so well, she keeps inviting her to places. So, like, there's a period where she's just spending time with them, and like they're going to different places, they doing different activities around the island, and her boss encourages it because he feels like it'll get them or she feels like it'll get them more business, and it'll keep the clients happy or whatever, because they're having their wedding at the hotel. So they pretty much use her to make their client happy. So she goes on these things with him, and then there's this like if this thing that they do where they have to walk across this the bridge. I can't remember what type of bridge it is, but y'all know the bridges, the ones that swing from side to side, and it's just wood, and it's like a rope. Is it a rope bridge? Something like that. So it's like a rope, but it got the little steps or whatever, the little planks. And he's afraid of heights. Her ex fiance is afraid of heights, so he ends up being afraid, and everybody else goes ahead. His brother goes ahead, his fiance goes ahead, his fiance's sister and one of their friends, they go ahead, and so it's Erica and him left on the bridge. And so he starts to freeze up, and she like coaches him over it or whatever. His new fiance wasn't able to help him out, but Erica was, because of course she knows him or whatever. So like she coaches him through it or whatever. They get to the other side, and that's like a bonding moment for them. So they start, those feelings that they have for each other start to come back up, and they start looking at each other like, like, I did you feel that? Because I still have feelings for you. Like, what is this? I thought we were over each other. We broke up a year ago. Why do I still feel this way about you? Type of thing. So they start to question their choice to break up. And they keep having like they have another moment where they have a discussion about what happened or whatever. They're supposed to meet each other so they can, I guess you could say, reminisce, revisit the past, and so they can figure out if they want to act on their feelings or if they are gonna let it go. You know what I mean? Like they want to make sure that they made the right decision to split up. And then eventually they realize that they didn't. They realize that they aren't in love. They realize that they did make the best decision to split up, and they decide that they're not going to mess up his situation because they have, these feelings coming up. And let's be real, like whenever you're in situations like that, of course, you're still going to have feelings. You're still going to feel something for that person because you were with them. You built that bond, you built a connection. But that doesn't mean that you should be with them. It doesn't mean that there's something there. It doesn't mean that they're your soulmate. It just means that you're a human being who still has feelings for someone that you used to date. Sometimes we put too much pressure and like emphasis on things that's not even a big deal. They're just feelings. And I feel like as humans, we do need to learn how to deal with our feelings more, because those feelings make us do a lot of stupid things or whatever. Like, even though we know that they're fleeting, just because you feel a spark with somebody doesn't mean that they're your soulmate or that you're supposed to be with them. Those things are fleeting. Like, feel it in the moment, and like brush it off and keep it moving. It's not that big of a deal. But they decide that they're not in love with each other, and these feelings that they're having is just that they're fleeting feelings or whatever. And they decide that moving on was the right decision for them. But while they're having a conversation, like they're walking on the beach or whatever, and this is the day of the wedding. This is the day that him and his fiance is supposed to get married, and Erica is supposed to sing at their wedding. So, they're walking, they're having a conversation, and his fiance is with his mom because his parents came into town, of course. I mean, came to the island, of course, further away. It was a destination wedding. So, of course, some of their friends and family were there. It was just close friends and family, though. So while they're talking, his mom sees them, and she's like, "Is that Erica?" And like she keeps talking. She's like, "Is that Erica that my son sucks to? Oh my God, I'm so happy that he broke up with her. He broke off his engagement with her because she wasn't right for him. I didn't like her." She said that to his mother, said that to his new fiance, and she's like, "What?" Like, it catches her off guard because they say that they told her that they were just friends. So she's confused now, and she thinks that he's playing her basically because they don't know. It looks like they're flirting. It looks like they are having a moment, but they're not. Like, you know how things can look a certain way to you when you're looking at them from a specific point of view, and a lot of times it's not what you think. Like, your perception is usually wrong. But yeah, like hearing the news that he was engaged to somebody a year ago freaks her out because it's like, oh my God, like you were just engaged to somebody else, now you're engaged to me. Are you like really in this with me, or are you just like a serial monogamous or something? Like, are you gonna break up with me the way that you did her? Like, it just was a lot of thoughts going on in her head, and I get it. Like, if I was about to get married to somebody and he was engaged a year before our wedding, I would feel some type of way too, because it's like you moved on pretty fast. Not to say that it's not possible for somebody to fall in love with somebody that fast, but it's like I would be unsure as well. Any of us would. We all would have a little doubt. So there was nothing wrong with her reaction. Um, so she cried, of course, and ran away. She was gonna run away. She was doing the runaway, the I don't know why I did that. She was doing the runaway bride bit that a lot of people do in those movies or whatever. Um, and so Erica find no her. She tells her sister what happens, and so her sister goes after Erica, like in a comedic, in a funny type of way. She goes after her and she confronts her about sneaking behind her sister's back. Like, you sneaking behind my sister's back. She befriended you. You lied to her. Why'd you do that? And she like kind of was aggressive and wanted to fight her. Erica asked her where her sister was, and she told her that her sister was leaving. Like, the girl was leaving because she was hurt and she didn't want to marry the dude no more. So Erica goes running after her ex fiance's new fiance. She goes running after the girl. She starts running away from the sister. So she jumps in this van that the hotel uses to carry people to different excursions and activities and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she gets in the van and tells the driver, who is also her coworker, to pull off because she's running from the sister. So they pull off. The sister is still chasing them, and then just so happen she looks back. She looks in the rearview mirror and sees the bride, her ex fiance's bride, um, in the backseat. She has on her wedding dress, and she's like a mess, and she's crying. And when she sees her, she starts going off. Like, she started telling her off and telling her how what she did was messed up and stuff like that. And then Erica tries to explain to her what happened, what happened, and it wasn't what she thought it was. And of course she didn't believe her at first, but then she finally gets her to believe her, and she finally gets her to see that it was a misunderstanding. They weren't sneaking behind her back, and she apologized for lying to her, for not telling her the truth about them being engaged uh a, a year prior or whatever. And so, they have their little moment. She talks the girl back into going to marry him. She tells the girl that he loves her. She tells her not to run away from it just because he was going to marry somebody else doesn't mean that he doesn't love her and he doesn't genuinely want to marry her. So she finally is able to convince her. They have a heart to heart, and the guy stops the van so they could turn around and they could go back to the hotel to have the wedding. And of course, her sister finally catches up with them, and they're standing outside at this point. So she kind of like tackles her. She like football tackles her to the ground or whatever, and then they had to explain to the sister what was going on. And of course, all was well. They had the wedding. Erica sung at the wedding. Everybody was all smiles and everything was all good. They had a happy ending. And Erica got her closure in the midst of all of that, and that's what she wanted when they were having a conversation. Because, like I said, he just left. He didn't explain to her why he left. He just left her. So she finally got, and I think the reason why she wasn't able to move on because she didn't have the closure. She didn't talk to him after that. He didn't give her the closure that she needed. So she finally gets it or whatever. Everybody moves on. She, like I said, she sings at the wedding. There was all smiles, and the movie ended with them diving off a cliff. And at the end, she was flirting with his brother. I don't know if it didn't say, or it didn't have any indication of whether they were going to date each other or whatever, but it ended with them flirting and having fun together and like just playing around together or whatever. So it kind of leaves me to assume that it might be a part two. I would be interested in seeing a part two. Like, it wasn't the best romance movie, but it was cool. Like, I give every movie a chance because I feel like as a writer I can just learn from them. Whether I feel like they were bad or good, I always try to find something good in the bad. So even if it starts off as bad, I'm gonna finish it. Because number one, I'm a fan of cinematography. I guess I'm a fan of movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I'm a fan of the stories that are created. I'm a fan of the writing, the ideas that they have that make them come up with this whatever. So no movie or TV show is bad to me. Even if I don't really like it, I'm gonna watch it. Like, it's not bad to the point that I'm just gonna be like, okay, I don't want to see that at all. There are some things that I haven't watched and I'm not interested in seeing, but a lot of the times down the line I'll end up watching it because that's just how I am. But like I said, it left me to assume that the two of them, Erica and her ex's brother, might end up dating or whatever. And like I said, I'll be interested in seeing that. But all in all, well, that's the end of the movie, the end of the review. All in all, I give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. It was pretty good. I think it's worth watching. It's on Netflix. The name of it is Resort to Love. And if you guys watch it, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Like, let's start a conversation about, the issue of him leaving and not giving her the closure. What do you guys think about closure? What do you think? Do you think that closure is necessary? Do you think that people's intentions are to close the relationship when they say they need closure, or do you think they use it to get back in? Like, what do you guys think about that? Because closure is something that I've always, like when people say they need closure and stuff, they like, they break up and they're like, I just needed the closure, so I talked to him, and I just don't think that it's necessary. I feel like it seems to be another opportunity for the person that did the wrong to give the person that was wronged a reason to get back with them. It's an opportunity for them to get in your head and tell you that they're going to do better. And this. A lot of the times people know this. That's why they want it. They want to have that conversation a lot of the times because they want to be convinced that that person is going to change for them. Because a lot of times people don't really want to leave the relationship when things happen. A lot of times people leave because they don't have a choice, because they're tired of the person mistreating them, cheating, whatever they're doing. I just feel like there's so many different things. Like, yeah, there may be people that actually really want closure and they can really have a conversation and then go on about, go their separate ways. But then there are also people who are codependent and they use closure to get back in. But let me know what y'all think about it. Do y'all think that closure is necessary when you're in a relationship or not? Thank you again for watching my movie review. I think I'm getting better at these as I go along. I didn't take as long. This is 30 minutes. And I guess it's different because it was a movie. A book is open to interpretation, so you can like go so many different ways when it comes to a book because you're using your own imagination to kind of put the story together. But I'm gonna try to be keep it short from now on, whether it's a book review or a movie review or a TV show review. But like I said, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Also, I will leave my information for my books in the description so you can go and purchase them and read them and tell me what you think about them. But yeah, this is the end of this interview and the end of this is the end of this review and the end of this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgrahamwrites.org so that you can learn more about me and get news and book updates when there's a new release. Also, I'm having a holiday sale right now until the 31st of December, and then I'll have another sale on the 1st of January only. But you can get 30% off all of my signed paperback books until December 31st by using the promo code SRG Holiday 2021 at checkout when you visit my website and click on the shop tab. Also, you can check out my latest novel, Drown the Lovers, on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. I also have the full Two Monogamous series if you haven't read it on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And I will put it on other bookstores as soon as possible. Um Again, thank you for watching my video and I'll see you in the next one.